This time on Tenby 24/7, the Coast Guards are called to a cliffside emergency.
There they are, you can just see him poking his head up there.
Brothers Jonathan and Matthew make some heavenly chocolate on Caldey Island.
The monks actually made it, but if you go away and you pray for an hour and you come back, the chocolate can be ruined.
And it's all for charity, as Dai the Boot tries to get the best price for sea bass.
Right, we start at 10. Give me 10, anywhere, 20.
This is 7 days in the life of one of Wales's holiday hotspots. 7 days with the people who work here to make the holidays a treat. This is Tenby, 24/7. Nestled within the Pembrokeshire Coast National Park is the popular seaside resort of Tenby. The town's Welsh name is Tenby, meaning Little Fortress of the Fishes. It's an early start for skipper Roger Miles and his 14-year-old apprentice Liam Berridge. Together, they run mackerel fishing trips for holidaymakers.
Over the side there with the weight and the feathers, okay? Just be careful of the hooks on the feathers. They're very, very sharp, especially if you catch fish and swing them on board, okay? If you'd like to take a rod, spread it around the boat, give yourselves plenty of room in between each other, and we'll be fine. The anticipation of waiting for the first fish. Nervous few moments. We get the odd occasion where dolphins come into the bay and frighten the fish, and they're gone. You know, we can have the odd trip then where we might not see a fish at all. Very disappointing for some people, but I can't beat nature all the time, you know. That's one of the hardest parts of the job, really, is you get disappointed people, you know, if they don't catch fish, you know, the grandfather and the son, you know. Here we are.
It seems the mackerel aren't rising to the bait this morning. But something is, and crew member Liam's got it hooked.
It's gunners.
It's grey gunners.
Grey gunners. Run your finger down his back that way. So now go the other way. Spiky, isn't it?
Fish?
Keep him?
Yeah, I think so.
But it isn't gurnard, it's mackerel the punters have come to fish for, and it's worrying.
Give it up. Nothing there.
Yeah, gone quiet at the moment. Why are they going to make us work today? Work to do today. Now we probably try a bit harder looking for them today, that's all. We'll have to...
Might have to go deep.
May have to go deep. Deep, deep.
The sea is like a magnet to holidaymakers at this time of year. And Tenby's lifeboat station is kept very busy. The RNLI volunteer crew respond to those in distress. 24/7.
This is busiest, Coast Guard. Stand by.
No engine action at all, and my auxiliary is not functioning. We're drifting too close to the rocks. I have 3 people on board in total. I'm too close to the rocks for comfort, really. Over.
Roger, stand by.
Speed is of the essence. Coxswain Phil John and his crew must rescue the boat in distress in time to stop it colliding with the rocks. With the stricken craft finally secured, the lifeboat can tow it to safety. And Coxswain Phil can return to base.
We put one of our guys onto the boat to help get his anchor up. His anchor was fouled, he couldn't get it up. So we managed to release the anchor, and then we towed him into Lisep where his trailer was waiting for him on the beach. So yeah, it was all good in the end. So typical day. Yeah. Where were you, on the beach?
Just off the coast from Tenby is the holy island of Caldey, home to a monastery of Cistercian monks and a small population of island dwellers. Caldey is only accessible by boat. And if you work there like brothers Jonathan and Matthew Miller, you may want a fast commute. Half a century ago, the monks started making chocolate on the island, and today the factory is run by Matthew's family.
No matter how many times you do this, I'm always surprised by how much chocolate you get out of this. It's 100 kilograms this machine can hold. It's more chocolate than I weigh. It's crazy. Before my dad, the monks actually made it, but the chocolate business got bigger, visitors wanted more and more, and the monks pray 7 times a day. So chocolate you need to be on top of all the time, and if you go away and you pray for an hour and you come back, the chocolate can be ruined. So they employed my dad back in the 80s, and he's been making it since. And now me and my brother, we come back here and we help him out, whenever we can when we're not at university. So we get as much summertime cash as we can just to be able to, pay through the winter. Because on Caldey, they always say winters are long. So we're, we make hay when the sun shines. And yeah, it's good. What do you need next, John?
I would go put some more maple nuts out. In fact, this can probably go out the front now.
Yeah, put it out.
I would say
chocolate orange?
Chocolate nut raisin next.
Nut raisin.
There we go. Let's hope we sell all this today.
Happy holidaymakers are important. Tenby relies on the tourists coming back year on year. 90-year-old Jeff fell in love with the resort over 50 years ago and has been returning with his family ever since.
Oh, I love everything about Tenby, especially these small shops. I love them, don't you?
Yeah. But it doesn't change, does it?
No,
it's always the same.
It's always the same.
I think that's the beauty of it.
Exactly, yeah. It's lovely, Tenby.
And every year the family from Lincoln visit their favourite haunts.
This is the best tea shop in Tenby.
Oh, that's who it is. Oh. Well, how are you all? Hi, very good, yeah. So tea for two?
Yeah. Tea for two.
Tea for two.
Oh, lovely tea.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
It's a long way to come down, but it's definitely worth it. Isn't it?
Yeah. And at night, I like it at night when the shops are lit up at night and you can go shopping at night.
And a beer at night.
Oh yeah, and a beer at night.
Real ale.
Not me, I don't drink. And paddling. And collecting seashells, which we've got hundreds at home.
Out at sea on their second trip of the day are mackerel skipper Roger and his shipmate Liam, both hoping their fishing fortunes are about to change.
I just had a phone call now from one of the local skippers, and there's a lot of birds feeding just over the way there. And he said he'd put his rod out for a few fish. He's bringing them in 6 at a time there. He's got a box full in 20 minutes. The phone call was, look out, they're on their way.
Got one.
Hey, good boy. Hey, I'm glad you come.
I think once you start, usually the rest comes with it then.
Yep, good. Nice. There you go, well done. What a difference in an hour, isn't it?
Everyone can do it. People of all ages. As soon as you're big enough to hold a rod, you can do it.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
To some people, it's a bit of a ritual. They come back every year. We see the same faces every year. They come back as part of their holiday. Enjoy doing it.
You'll find that the little kids as well, they're fascinated by the fish. They'll drop their rod and they'll just come and stand by the box.
For the fish.
Wow, what's that?
Are you going to be eating that tonight for your tea?
Probably not.
Why not?
I don't like fish.
Society at the moment, they say, yes, I eat fish fingers, but that's it, So hopefully when they come fishing, they can take home their catch, cook it, and eat it as well. That's what we want kids to do. Obviously, the more fish they eat, the better it is for everybody, and us.
Do you like it when the catch is good?
When the catch is good, yeah. It's sort of satisfying that everybody else is satisfied. And I'm pleased you've done the job then, you've done what you set out to do, and everyone's caught fish, and it's great. And when you can achieve that in the first 10 minutes of a trip, you're on a winner, you're on a winner.
There's no way they're coming home. We're in a hotel room, we've got nowhere to put them.
Down the harbour, the inshore lifeboat is being launched for a rescue. The RNLI has to respond to every emergency call, and Coxswain Phil John has to immobilise a crew as fast as possible.
It's gone to Monkston Point, which is like 2 miles north of here, for 2 young kids out in a dinghy. That a kayaker passed and said the kayaker was a bit concerned because the wind's picked up. They're a bit far out, and the kayaker raised the alarm. So the Coast Guard have requested us to go just to make sure that they are okay, basically.
Sorry, lads. Yeah, whereabouts have you come from? Whereabouts have you come from? Have you been around Monkston Point? Huh? Have you been around the point?
Yeah.
Right, is there only 2 of you on the dinghy? Yeah. There's no one else involved, no? Right, okay, no worries. But somebody's called the Coast Guard to say there was somebody possibly in difficulty.
Oh, okay, no, we went up on the rock.
Yeah, you climbed over the point, is it? That's brilliant.
Yeah, but we're okay.
So there's only 2 of you, no one else involved, no?
Yeah.
Excellent, cheers.
Are you just waiting to get back around the storm?
Yeah, I'll phone with us, boys.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no worries.
Hey, legend, thank you.
You'll end up in more trouble.
Yes.
This time, these teenage would-be adventurers were found okay and hitch a lift home in style. Last year, Tenby lifeboat crews launched 81 times and rescued 61 people. Time for volunteer Robert James to report back.
He said it wasn't too bad when they started, but we got a bit fruity from it. They wanted to go round the end, but they wouldn't have done it.
Right.
Well, they would have, but they would have been back down here then. So.
Nicely done.
Good call.
Boats from Tenby are a lifeline for the residents on Caldey Island. They bring not only essential supplies, but also pilgrims and thousands of tourists. The chocolate factory is an island attraction, and brothers Jonathan and Matthew keep the monk's original recipe alive.
It's a Belgian recipe, and that's about all I know. You won't tell me much more. The recipe's been the same now since the monks started making it here, so I'm not sure how many people know that, and I'm sure that if I knew it, they wouldn't let me leave the island, would they? So, thank you. On a good day, we can make up to 2,000 bars, you know, and as they're all hand-wrapped, it's kind of, that'll be a long day. Yeah. So, but it all depends, you know, in the winter when we're making chocolates, if we can't get the materials over here, we'll make nothing. Yeah. So, it's so different every single day.
Summer's definitely the most intense time of the year for us. You can't really survive on Caldey without, you know, the support of the community and things like that, and it is quite a tight community.
There's only 50 islanders, so everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
And even though some of the people have changed, like, Caldey still feels like Caldey, you know, it hasn't really changed in the way that it feels here.
Hidden away in the town centre is the old market hall. Home to Dai the Boot, who has been repairing the shoes of locals and tourists in Tenby all of his working life.
Here we are, Maynard. All right. Oh, we make the toes here and the heels. It's the right ones, isn't it?
Yeah, it is the right shoes. Don't have to go back to Tenerife to get another pair yet.
Dai never forgets a face or a shoe.
A holidaymaker came in once, and the market had closed before they went home, and they couldn't pick the shoes up. And they came in 2 years later, and they were all ready. Honestly.
One of the highlights of the summer for Dai is the Tenby sea bass fishing competition, at which he has become the reluctant auctioneer.
what happened, I may have had 3 pints instead of 2. And we were there, it just, for a joke sort of thing. And you know, amassed from there sort of thing. It was unbelievable. Then somebody said, we'll have to have another one next year, and so it's gone bigger and bigger every year. It really has. Yeah.
It's the early bird that catches the sea bass, and Dai is running late for his shipmates.
Come on! The royal wedding was yesterday.
No, I run up the road there and this woman said, are you been there?
Have you been there? We hadn't already gone. 9:30 we were going. Are you right?
90-year-old Jeff and his family are also taking to the sea.
Thanks. Yeah, lovely. Thanks, Joe.
It's time for their annual pilgrimage to Caldey Island.
It's lovely scenery, isn't it? You know, when you look back now.
You won't get this at Skeg.
Oh gosh, no.
When you come through here and you look and you just see that monastery, it could be in Italy, couldn't you, or Venice or somewhere. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I know. Could be in a film set, couldn't it?
Yes, it certainly looks Italian, doesn't it?
Oh, it's so beautiful.
You seem to be in another world. And the other thing is the impressive monastery. It's so, you know, uplifting, I think. But the girls like to walk around, which is, and see the lighthouse, but at my age, you just want to sit down and enjoy it and all the peacefulness. That's what I like about it. Yeah. It's not a holiday without visiting Caldey Island. I don't think, anyway.
And it's an opportunity for Jeff's daughter, Michelle, to indulge her sweet tooth.
I don't think they make all this chocolate here, would you? Yeah, no. Mind that, Mum. Are you ever tempted just to put your mouth under it like that?
Not really.
I think I would be. I'll stick a strawberry in or something.
Just under 100 grams.
That's fine. And an extra dark chocolate, please. That's it.
This is part of the invitation then, is it?
It is, certainly. We always come here and get some chocolate and some fudge. I know you can get it in a Caldey shop, but it's nice to get off the island where it's actually made.
Jonathan and Matthew are only helping out for the summer, and their future plans are not in chocolate heaven.
I'm training to be a dentist, and my brother's... Well, what are you doing, John?
Well, I'm studying medicine at the moment. At the moment, hopefully orthopaedic surgery, but we'll see where that goes.
Ironic that you work in a chocolate factory and you're training to be a dentist.
Yeah, well,
He loves this.
I always say it's always to fix my dad's the things he scores, you know, the K's he scores and the K's he scores. I'll go and, you know, fix his wrongs, but he doesn't enjoy me saying that. So, chocolate orange?
Let's be honest, he's just happy. It'll keep him in business longer.
Well, I think we have a chocolate factory and a dental surgery opposite each other. That's the plan.
For the last 9 years, a gathering of close-knit Tenby locals have taken to the water to fish for sea bass.
Dogfish. Common, is it? Whatever it's called, is it?
Less spotted.
Less spotted, there we are. No prizes for those.
Little gurnard. He's going to go back, he's not quite big enough.
Dai and his shipmates are catching everything but sea bass today.
Rockfish.
Good eating, that.
Yeah.
It's realistic, nearly looks like a real rock, doesn't it?
And they go back really well.
This competition is to commemorate the memory of a good friend and raise money for a cancer charity.
The idea sort of bloomed in the pub, like. The boys all got together and we all went out fishing after the year that Terry died, and then went back to the pub, started auctioning the fish, I think, for a bit of fun, but it just excelled from there. And fair play, we've done well ever since. You know. And people donated different things for auctioning. Really lovely. Andy, what was last year's total?
Around £6,000 mark, something like that.
Yeah, 6.
If they're going to make any money at auction this year, someone is going to have to catch some sea bass.
We let the other boys catch the bass. Yeah. Yeah. It's not fair to keep catching all the bass and nobody else.
And the biggest catch of the day ends up being a small shark.
Put him back.
Coast Guard Rescue. Hello, yeah, I wonder if you could help. We noticed a couple of young kids on the rocks. The tide's coming in. They've got a little dog with them. There's no way for them to go, really, because the tide is very much all the way in.
The Coast Guards have been called urgently to the Esplanade Cliffs.
There they are, you can just see him poking his head up there.
The emergency also needs the assistance of the inshore lifeboat.
No Foraven Coast Guard, no Foraven Coast Guard, Tenby Island. No 6 Tenby Island to operation. We've launched and are proceeding to the Paradise where we believe there are people set off.
This area, please.
Look back and see if we can spot them. They should be about here, okay?
Mike Day, Tenby Coast Guard Station Officer, is in charge of organising this team for the cliff-top rescue.
Yeah, I'm down here with the 2 children and their father and the dog, and they are all safe.
So they can exit without any danger of it?
Okay.
Yeah, affirmative. They are in no danger at all. They are standing with their
father fishing quite happily on the Esplanade steps.
Looks like a false alarm with good intent, probably. But there's 2 kids and the dad and the dog down there. Somebody's reported them as cut off or trapped on the rocks. So, job done, I think, I hope.
And of course, it's nice to know that people are looking out for you.
I don't think there's a problem anyway.
We'd always rather be called than not.
Job done for volunteer Coast Guard Sam Radian.
See, with a lot of tourists about, people see people on the rocks. They don't know how far the tide comes in. These people are local. They know the water around here. Unfortunately, with all the tourists about, they do tend to panic a little bit quickly. But as you could see, they're safe and well. So happy ending for everybody.
On Caldey, holidaymaker Jeff is taking some reflective time to remember the purpose of today's visit to the Holy Island.
I lost my sister on Thursday, so definitely want to go in and say a few prayers for my sister.
I'm just going to put Auntie Lou's near Our Lady because she loved Our Lady, didn't she?
No doubt my sister was looking down and laughing her socks off. She was a big, big Catholic, yeah. I'm making me think about her now. Good old Lou.
Say bye to Caldey then. Till next year. Bye, Caldey.
The Caldey boats ferry thousands of visitors a year, helping make holiday memories that last a lifetime.
I think you come to Tenby and you take a little bit of it back within your heart and then you come again.
Oh, lovely. You sound like a blooming advert.
Yeah, Mum.
It's the last mackerel trip of the day for Roger and Liam, and they're still reeling them in.
That's a meal on its own, that one, isn't it?
This is a summer job for 14-year-old Liam, and seaman's etiquette has been a bit of a steep learning curve.
Tell you a story about Liam's wellies. He turned up one morning down the harbour there in front of everybody. Bright white wellies.
I didn't know that white wellies were butcher's wellies, and everyone took the mick out of me. So I sprayed them yellow. They were better. They were perfect, but they've seen some action and they've faded a bit.
The paint's coming off. Yeah, the paint's coming off. Never mind, if he does well this season, we might affiliate him. We might earn his stripes.
And a good season with holidaymakers is what Roger is hoping for.
We've got to try and make as many as we can in the summer to last us through the winter. Yeah, just to pay the bills, basically. We managed to struggle by, pay the bills, and hopefully do it all again next year. But we're sort of dependent on the weather as well. The weather and tourists, they're the main factors in sort of living in a coastal town, really.
That's right. It's enormous.
The sea bass fishermen are back on dry land.
We got two lovely bass, folks. We'd like to start off at $5. Show me your hand for 5.
And Dai's got a lot of fish to sell.
15.
Of course, none of it caught by his team's boat.
16, we got 16 with the hoodie. 16 with the hoodie. 20. Plenty of bass. 23. 25. Going once. 25 going twice. 25 down. Thank you very much, Dave. Now, this one's been donated by Bob Dawson, but these people have donated the fish for a very good cause. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our youngest competitor. Right.
20 quid.
20 quid on the front. 20 quid?
All for a good cause. You know, they all join in. It's wonderful. Tenby people are generous, you know, really generous. Yeah, really good. We can't beat Tenby.
And Dai is a Tenby man of many talents.
Well, you'll join in with me if you know this one, right? I've been a wild rover for many a year, and I spent all my money on whiskey and beer, and now I'm...
This year, the fishermen raised over £10,000 in memory of their friend Terry.
Play the wild rover no more. No, they never. Right up your kilt. No, they never. No more. Well, I play that wild rover. No, never. No more. Thanks, folks. Thank you for everything.
Next time on Tenby 24/7. Pest controller Lee Richards tries to keep the resort rat-free.
It's going to be a rodent paradise when everybody's gone home for their dinner.
The Fetchies dish up some fish and chips for the holidaymakers.
Right, the curry sauce is very hot, it'll burn and it will stain. Would you like some salt and vinegar, please?
And have vandals ruined the town's chances to win the Britain in Bloom competition?
I suppose we've just got to hope that the judge takes things into consideration, you know.
And we're back in Tenby 24/7 here on BBC HD at the same time tomorrow. Next this evening, a great British food revival takes on the turkey.